For opening day, Rene Rivera will presumably be behind the plate because, well, runners run wild on Noah Syndergaard, did last year certainly. Travis d'Arnaud has had a hard time throwing anybody out. But it looks like there's a little bit of progress being made, Rick, by Noah Syndergaard. What changes is he been making?
Well, it looks like his last spring training game, he did what we call a quick pitch, meaning we want to execute a quality pitch as quickly as we possibly can. And you can see here with a shortened leg kick, you know, this time is going to be much better.
Yeah.
And he makes a quality pitch right here to go with it.
So on the left in that photo, in that video, is last year. On the right is this year. And there's really almost no comparison. I mean, how big of a difference does that make if you're the base runner watching those two next to each other?
It's huge because what you need to do when you're watching the game, take a look at the first base coach. Everybody's got stopwatches. And they basically just click it and go, okay, 1-3, 1-2-8, can't run. 1-5, we got the green light.
Okay, so you may have noticed Nelson has a glove here. So we've got a pitcher and we've got a pitching coach. Why don't you take us through how this process works?
All right, Nelly. So let's go ahead and mimic Noah's leg kick from last year. So you can see that's above his waist. That's right up in here. So one of the ways that we actually go about this process to shorten this is we do a balance drill, and we did this with Nelly when we were together with the Mets. Basically, we do a balance drill, and we shorten the leg kick by about half, which shortens up the time. Go ahead, Nelly. Perfect. And then go ahead, let's put it all together. So by shortening that leg kick, we cut that leg kick in half, we get ourselves down to about 1-3. And we're looking for 1-3. We're not looking for 1-1. We're looking for 1-3. The other big factor, which we were talking about earlier, is the fact the other detriment to stop a runner is the ability to hold the baseball. And if you remember Max Scherzer in the World Series, Max is actually shadowboxing this in the outfield. He'll hold 4 or 5 seconds, and that's a major detriment. Go ahead now.
So normally he comes set and the guy at first base is counting 1-1,000, 2-1,000, 3-1,000. Then he's ready to pitch. They notice that time almost every time. Now all of a sudden he holds, and you go and hold to a 6 count, a 7 count even.
Exactly.
They get a little antsy. They might go back to the base. Hitter calls timeout.
Yep.
Got a lot of things happening. That's controlling the running game without having to quicken up or trying to substitute a quick pitch and not be able to deliver a quality pitch.
Exactly, and that does 2 things. The hitter's not very happy about that either.
Right.
The other factor that we actually implemented is what we call a half pitch out. And a half pitch out's in a favorable count where the catcher will give a fastball, let's say right-hand hitter, and the catcher will sit about 6 inches off the plate. And when he's 6 inches off the plate, we flip out a 1-2. It's a great pitch for him to throw somebody out, and the first base coach gets a 1-2, and he says, geez, if we ran right here, he's out.
Right.
So there's multiple weapons, and Noah's doing a great job of improving because he wants to be best, there's no question, and he's got the best stuff in baseball.
And if I could ask one more quick question. So how much are you watching now if you've taught Nelson a quick pitch or something in the middle where you're not doing your full windup? Right. How much are you watching where the ball's going once he pitches? Because I know it's an adjustment if you've never done it before to try and do this. So how long are you spending to try and implement it so that his stuff's not changing and you like the results?
Well, this balance drill that we did, this would be done over and over and over. With the ball, in the bullpen, without the ball. And we practice. That's kind of a novel idea that you might practice to get better at this. But again, we call it a quick pitch because we want to execute a quality pitch as quickly as we can, not get the ball just to the catcher in a short period of time. And some guys just really struggle with it. And if you can only get to 1-4, and that's the best you can do to execute quality pitches, then we have other variables because we can hold.
Right. And it became part of our throwing program when I was with Rick. You saw guys who had 10, 12 years in the major leagues, they're standing out there and they're going like this because you're trying to learn how to control the running game, add another element to your already repertoire that you have. And people that knew guys like Pedro Martinez and Tom Glavine, they knew their counts down, down pat. So they had to do something a little different, maybe just one time that you showed it at that, and then you can go back to your comfort zone of picking it up a little bit higher and still being quick to the plate.
Exactly. Tom Glavine was doing this after 270 wins. Yeah. I mean, he was still pretty good.
Yeah, practice makes perfect. Guys, thanks for the nice little demonstration.